By day, he was the face of a popular Liverpool restaurant on one of the city's trendiest streets. But in court, that respectable image was destroyed. Celal Arslan, owner of Gomera on Lark Lane, has been sentenced after being convicted of 18 sexual offences against young and vulnerable females, including rape, attempted rape, and sexual assault. The judge told him directly, "You were acting purely as a sexual predator." So how did a well-known local businessman hide that reality for so long, and what exactly did the court hear? This is the full story. Before this case reached court, Celal Arslan appeared to be a success story. He ran La Gomera, a popular Mediterranean restaurant on Lark Lane in Aigburth, South Liverpool, an area known for independent businesses, busy weekends, and a strong local following. To customers, it looked like another well-liked local venue. To the wider community, Arslan appeared to be an established businessman. That public image mattered. Because in cases like this, respectability can become a shield. It can make people seem trustworthy. It can lower suspicion. And according to the prosecution case, that image gave Arslan the cover he needed to get close to vulnerable young women and teenagers. What the court heard was not about one isolated incident. It was about a pattern. The court heard that between 2022 and 2024, Arslan carried out a series of sexual offences against 4 victims. Those offences included 1 rape, 2 attempted rapes, and 15 sexual assaults. Jurors heard that he targeted young and vulnerable females, and that he used situations where he appeared helpful or trustworthy to place himself in positions of control. In some cases, the court heard he offered lifts home or used his position as a restaurant owner to create access and opportunity. That is one of the most disturbing parts of this case. According to the prosecution, this was not impulsive behaviour. It was predatory behaviour. The judge, Robert Trevor Jones, made that clear when he told Arslan, "You were acting purely as a sexual predator." And that line goes to the heart of why this case has had such an impact. Because it was not just the offences themselves. It was the contrast between the public image and what the court concluded was happening behind it. Lark Lane is known for its restaurants, cafes, and its community feel. It is the kind of place people associate with social life, local business, and trust. So when someone linked to one of its visible hospitality venues is convicted of serious sexual offences, the shock goes beyond the courtroom. It affects how a community sees a place, a business, and the idea of safety itself. Cases like this also follow a pattern people will recognize from other prosecutions, a man with status, access, and credibility allegedly using those things to get close to people he believed would be less able to resist, report, or be believed. That is why these cases often leave such a deep mark. They are not just about criminality. They are about betrayal. At Liverpool Crown Court, Arslan was handed an extended sentence of 20 years. He will have to serve at least 2/3 of that sentence in custody before he can be considered for release, and even then, that is not automatic. After that, he will remain on licence for a further 5 years. The court also heard that he will be on the sex offenders register for life. For the victims, no sentence can undo what happened. But the court's decision means he has been publicly identified, convicted, and removed from the public for a significant period. La Gomera had already lost its premises license after Arslan was charged, and the business has since closed. That detail matters because it shows how completely the case reshaped the public picture around him. What was once a busy local venue is now tied to a criminal case that exposed something far darker than the image customers saw on the surface. For many people, the empty premises will stand as a reminder of how easily serious offenders can hide behind ordinary public roles. The most important people in this story are the victims who came forward. Without that, none of this reaches a courtroom. None of it is tested before a jury. None of it ends in conviction and sentence. Cases involving sexual offences often depend on victims speaking up despite fear, trauma, and the possibility of not being believed. That takes enormous courage. And this case raises a wider question too. How many offenders rely not on secrecy alone, but on the appearance of normality, success, and trust? That is why stories like this resonate so strongly. they force people to confront the gap between image and reality. Celal Arslan has now been sentenced, and the court's findings have brought an end to the respectable image that once surrounded him. But the bigger story is the courage of the victims and the warning this case sends about predators who use trust, status, and public respectability as cover. If you want more clear, fact-focused coverage of major UK crime cases, subscribe and turn on notifications. And let me know in the comments, should businesses in positions of public trust face tougher safeguarding scrutiny, or is the justice system enough once offences come to light?